So here I am. I'm gonna go through the presentation of the new PVC strategy that I'm going through. Before I jump in on regarding PPC, I'm gonna talk a little bit about me. So I'm Patricia, I'm from Brazil. I'm a mom of two kids. I've worked my whole life in big companies, so 9 to 5 jobs with a 20 years experience in marketing sales. And we moved to US with my family. It's been around 3 years because of my husband's job. So we needed to move to Florida. And when we moved here, I said, okay, now it's the time to really jump into this entrepreneurship journey because it was a dream I always wanted to do, but I was so stuck on my 9 to 5 job that I couldn't have time or how to think about the possibilities of doing that. And I jumped all in into Amazon because I think it was a good fit of the possibilities that I saw that Amazon had at the time. And because I could work at home, that it was really something that I needed to do at the time. So I started selling my products. I did a lot of courses before jumping to Ryan Rigney's course, that for me was the best one. And then I jumped all in into my products. And because of this whole network that I have in Brazil, some companies started coming to me saying that they wanted to bring their products to US. Some of them already had started some kind of sales in US or started some kind of business in Amazon, but they were really lost on how to do that, how to get things done. Because most of them don't have like anybody here in US to look after the business or someone that they know that really knows how to deal with Amazon. So they started looking, hey, I know that you're selling your products. Could you help me with mine? I'm starting this whole business in US. So this is how my whole business on consulting started. So now I have like 90% of my clients are from Brazil. I have some here. I have some from UK too, but 90% of them are from Brazil. And so I'm going to start, I'll talk a little bit about my new PPC strategy. So everything that I've learned that I'm doing since the past uh, 2 years and a half, was the strategy that I think that most people teaches is okay, you have to set an auto campaign, you have to set these and these and these type of manual campaigns, but things started to change really fast on the past month regarding PPC. And I think that I was a little bit behind because it's something that you really can get for courses because they set like an overall picture of how PPC looks like. So I started jumping to people that just do PPC. So I wanted to know how they were managing many, many accounts just regarding PPC, what were their best practices, what were their learning with all those changes that Amazon was doing. So I really started to follow the Better AMS content, and then I got a referral to Mina Elias, at the one that I started consulting, and I started changing some of the things that I do regarding PPC that I'm going to share now. So the first thing is to really separate when I'm launching a product and when I'm talking about PPC, when I'm scaling this campaign or this product has already some kind of sales and social proof. So the first thing is to talk about, okay, when I'm launching a product, what do I have? So what I have is like a list of the main keywords because I've done my work. I've done my listing optimization. So my listing looks very good. My images are okay. So I really have like a main picture of what are my main keywords, but we don't know how they are going to perform. So the goal here is to really pull data to have enough data to see what's going to work in terms of sales, in terms of campaigns, to really start scaling for new campaigns. So here, when we talk about the auto campaign, something that I'm doing differently is to separate the auto campaigns per targeting. So well, what I was doing before is to just set per SKU auto campaign, but I wouldn't separate them by targeting. Now what I'm doing is to have like an auto campaign per SKU per targeting. So for example, if I have a product that is a dog collar and I have 3 different designs, I will set an auto campaign for dog collar black close match, then another auto dog color black loose match, another for substitutes, another for complements. And I'll do the same for the 3 different designs. By doing that, what I have learned is that you have a better understanding how each targeting is performing, because you don't know how Amazon's going to split your budget through each of them. And 2, you can have more control where you're going to put into place your bidding strategy, how you're going to really manage to optimize them. So this is the first thing that I'm doing differently. And I've seen that I have better results because I can scale faster the ones that are performing well and really take out the overspending on the ones that are not. And the other thing, when I'm talking about product launch, the manual campaign should be about those that I have more competitive advantage. So, for example, talking about the dog collar will be a very competitive keyword that if I put it in a manual campaign right now, sure, maybe it's like 90% of chance that I'm not going to perform well. People have for this, they are bidding very, very high for this type of keywords. My competitors already have a lot of reviews. So I'm going to set the manual campaigns. I want one just for the long tail keywords. But when I talk about the long tail keywords, are those ones that really talk about my products, that are more specific. So if I have a dog collar that has a unique design, I'll look for dog collars, unique designs, or dog collar black and white if I only have this kind of designs, or because it has a different fabric. So for example, if it's, I don't know, if it's customized, so the customized dog collar. So really try to find the long tail keywords that have enough searches per month, but really talks about your products. And always, and also setting other campaigns where I can have already in the beginning some kind of advantages, like the misspellings, the Spanish and the Portuguese, that I already put them on my back end, but I'm also going to target them because I know that most of my competition is not doing that. And also target a different group of those keywords that has low competition but has like at least 200 searches per month. And also, if my product is FBA, that 100% of my products are, I will target the products that are FBM, because even if I don't have much social proof, I already have some kind of advantage over them. So, and what about the campaign structure? So, something that I think that it's very important, especially um, on seller centers that I have like 200 or 250 SKUs, is to really organize better the campaign. So to really have one portfolio for each SKU, so I can have a better vision when I'm setting and I'm structuring and I'm managing this campaign. I'm really focused on that SKU, so I don't lose my focus to looking to different campaigns. So I start seeing like many SKUs together, and I really lose the focus on how to set them properly. So it's very important to organize, and setting just one campaign with one ad group. So it's really turning to that I have like for example 10 campaigns, now I have 50 campaigns. So I have a lot more campaigns because I don't have campaigns with a lot of ad groups. So each campaign it has just one ad group. So like for the same example that I was talking about, the auto campaign is just to have a better look at how you can analyze better when you set it that way. And talking about the manual campaigns is to having like maximum 20 to 30 keywords per campaign to really guarantee that Amazon is going to split the budget through the entire list that you have. And now talking about on scaling the campaigns, now I have more data and I can start setting different manual campaigns. So here we continue with the auto campaigns because we need to keep analyzing and try to extract from those campaigns the ones that the keywords that are performing better to put them into auto campaigns too. And other manual campaigns that we can start adding now that we have more social proof, like 5, 6, 7 best 10 minimum 10 reviews, we can start adding campaigns with the high volume searches keywords where we can start increasing more aggressively the long tail keywords that are performing better, and now trying to target with other different campaigns where I have now more advantage too, because now I have some social proof, I have reviews, I have some history sales, so I'm going to start targeting those products that don't have that. So for example, a campaign with just for the products that are my direct competitors but have very low rating, 3 or below, or also a campaign with products that have low reviews. So I'm talking about two different things here. So like products that has uh, 2 or 3 reviews and now I have 10, so I have advantage. And also talking about the products that maybe have 100 reviews but they have a very low rating, they have just a rating of 3 or below, so I still have advantage on that. And always targeting my own brand. This is something that I was being lazy about, and I think it makes a whole different and it makes a lot of sense because you're dominating the space of your detail page. So if I have the same example for the dog color, if I have 3 colors, I will put the dog color black, I will target the red and the yellow, and the same thing with the others, because when people start searching through my product or my brand on the sponsor brands, they need to see my brand too. We don't want them to only see our competition. So these are some examples of other manual campaigns that you can start adding on. You're talking about scaling, but the thing is that we know that PPC is really dynamic, and it's really important to get set the right KPIs to start always adding new campaigns and new metrics. So something that I look into, of course, is the CTR to see if the click-through rate is how it's performing per campaign. And the other thing is not just to look into the ACoS, but really look into the true ACoS. Is my advertising spend over my all revenue? Because that is really where I'm interested in. It's not just the ACoS. It's if I'm with those campaigns, I'm getting more organic sales. And so if my true ACoS is it's under my target, it's what I've put it as a goal. Like for example, I put like depending on the product 10 to 20% of my advertising over my old spending. If that's okay, it's okay to have some campaigns with maybe 40% of ACoS because my overall spending is under my it's aligned with my objective. And so talking about managing and optimizing, it's always to test new campaigns. So what I've seen is that I think that in the past I was putting like a lot of time just managing the same campaigns and getting like a very long time on adding new campaigns. And things start changing so fast. It's really important to always add new campaigns, to really analyze the data, but what you do with that data is not just setting up the ones that are already working, but always testing and testing and testing new campaigns, because you can be surprised of how new things can emerge from that, and how you can set like new campaigns that you could never imagine that starts getting a very good performance. And always make those changes. I make it once a week with the book reports, and then like every 2 weeks or every month with the search term reports, to get those new keywords that are emerging, the search terms that are emerging from the results, to set it in a different campaigns. Like for example, to have just a campaign for an SKU for the best performance one. And another thing that I see that it's different now, that it's getting a better results, is to really have a strategy on how you manage the bidding. So not just putting like a exact formula, like I don't have a campaign that is performing well, I'm going to reduce 20%. And or if I'm getting like a very good campaign, I'm gonna increase in 10 or 20%. It's really setting a range, because you can have decreases or increases differently depending on the range that you're setting as an ACoS. So if you have campaigns with 50 to 100% of ACoS, it needs to be a different kind of strategy of reducing the bids from the ones that you have 100% of ACoS or 150% of ACoS. And the same when you're talking about increasing the bid, it needs to be different from the ones that are 30%, or from the ones that you have like 10% of ACoS. That ones that maybe you want to increase in a higher pace because it can really scale fast. And another thing is about putting the keywords or the search terms into a negative exact. So I used to put it really fast when I had like 10 or 15 clicks with no sales. I would add them really fast on a negative exact. Now, what I've learned is that maybe they're not performing that well now. They are not getting sales right now, but things are really dynamic, and the way people searches are always changing, and you can have different results in different timings of the life cycle of your product too. So it's better to really reduce the bidding, but get those keywords there, and then not in a different moment, then you start increasing a little bit and see if in a different moment they are going to perform better. So like for an example of the dog collar, now I have 100 reviews. I'm going to start bidding on the dog collars. But from the results that I'm seeing, they are still not performing well. I'm having still a very high ACoS. I'm not going to negative. I'm going to really reduce my bidding, because I'm not going to spend that much on the keyword, but it's there. And then now if I have 150 reviews, I'm going to start increasing again and see if now it starts performing better. So I think that's it. I've learned from great people, for people that are really just all in to PPC. They do that all the time. So it's been really amazing, like Mina, to really get these new insights and how I can do things differently. So I think that that's the most important. It's never start learning from people that are just into that, because things are really changing fast, and we need to focus on the things that we know we can do very well, and learn more for the things that others do really well, and start adding to our business to see how the results and how it's going to work for us. So have a great day. Bye, Danny.